We are ready to add our fireball. I ran some tests, and the fireball that I added didn't behave the way I wanted it to. So what I did is I added this fireball instead. Okay, so we add that guy, and we want to go into replicated storage, delete that fireball that we added there, and we want to add the fireball that we just added to our game into replicated storage. So we're replacing the fireball. Okay. Now what we want to do is go into spawn location 9 and go into the fireball script and start coding this. Okay. The first thing that we need to do is to get the spawn location and that fireball that we placed in replicated storage. We're going to do that by doing this. And then we need to add a touched event to the spawn location by doing that. We need to define our function by saying function on touched part end, and then from there we need to make sure that the touched part is the player. And the way we're going to do that is by running a get player from character, and player is going to be set to the character if this touched part is in fact a piece of the character. Right. So if this is true, then we know that what touched the spawn location is the player. And from here we want to create a fireball, add them to our screen. Okay, and we have them right here, but as you can see in our game, if I highlight that fireball, he is there, but he is not visible. He's not in our game. He'd only be in our game if he was here in our workspace. Okay, but the fireball in replicated storage you could think of as it being in a closet, right? He's able to be used. He's just not being used. So the first thing we need to do is get that fireball and clone him. So we're going to say in here local fire clone is equal to fireball : clone. Okay. Is that right? Okay, I misspelled fireball. So lowercase. And then from there we need to add them to our game by saying fire clone dot parent is equal to game dot workspace. Okay, that adds them to our game. All right. Last thing we need to do is set the clone's position. And if you look here at this base plate, for example, and you see every part in the workspace has a position property. Then the first value is the X, the second value is the Y, and the last value is the Z. Okay, so you could think of this as like left to right. You could think of the Y as being up and down, and you could think of the Z as being forward and backward. Okay. And so we need to set the fire clone's position. And what we want to do eventually is set it to be anywhere randomly on top of this base plate. So it looks like it's raining fireballs and it's just landing all over the base plate. But for now, in the beginning, all we want to do is make it appear. And I'm going to make it appear right here in the center of the end plate. This is called the end plate. So how do I do that? I can set the position of the fire clone to the position of the end plate. All right. But in order to do that, I need to have the end plate. So let's go ahead and create a variable for him and grab him from the workspace, game.workspace.level24.endPlate. Okay. And then down here, I'm going to say endPlate.position. So I'm setting the fire clone to the position of the end plate. Let's see if it works by playing. And you can see the fireballs are being created in the center of the end plate. And as I walk around, the touch is happening on the spawn location and more fireballs are being created. Okay, and added to the screen. Whoa, did you see all those down there? Right. So they're falling down. You see that? They're all falling down there. So another thing that I noticed, so great, that's a success, right? That's one step closer to our goal of having a rain of random fireballs falling onto the base plate. But another thing that I noticed here are some of these error messages. And some of these error messages are based on code that's in the NPCs that we added to our game, right? The non-playing characters, like this soldier here and this helicopter. And we can't really do anything about those. But some of these error messages we can do something about. Okay, so let's go through them for a second. So these guys we can't do anything about. But this one right here, this boom is not a valid member of model, we can. Okay, so I go ahead and click on the red, and it'll take me to where the error is, and it's right here on this line. And yeah, that's not where the boom sound is. Okay, so where is the boom sound? It's where all of our sounds are. It's in workspace, and it's in the sounds folder. So I'm going to go ahead and change this and say game.workspace.sounds.boom, and I should be good. So that's the first error. The second error is this one. So I have this same script in all 4 of my MPCs, I believe. I'm not sure where this is coming from actually, but it's coming from the bomb. Okay, so actually all of these scripts have the same error, and these scripts are coming from the balls. So maybe we can go over there, right over here. It's these guys, and so it's all of these guys, I believe. No. Okay, well, these guys should have the bomb explosion, right? I haven't coded it yet. Oh, but these are actually coming from the dead cells in the maze. So if I go into my maze, which should be right here, right? Go down to my dead cells. Every single one of these guys has a script that uses the wrong boom sound. So if yours is wrong like mine is wrong, go back and change all of these guys, and I'll see you on the other side.